Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be graphing by completing the square. We're going to graph quadratics by completing the square. So we've already seen something that looks like this, right? If I gave you that equation, which is right here, and I asked you to graph it, remember I need to know my 6 letters. So I'm going to have inside, horizontal, change, outside, vertical, keep. So I see this -2, is it inside or outside? It's inside, so it's either going to move left or right because that's horizontal, and I'm going to change it. So I'm going to go to the right 2. This +1, inside or outside, that's an outside. So it's vertical, so it's either going to go up or down, and I'm going to keep it the same. So I see a +1, so I'm going to go up 1 and draw my dot. And then there's no negative in front of here, so it's going to go open. It's going to open normal, and since it's the squared, it's going to be the U shape. Okay? So if we see a quadratic that looks like that, we know how to graph that. We've already done that before, okay? So the problem is what do we do when the problem looks like this? Well, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take this, okay, and we're going to try to make it look like this, okay? So whenever we see a problem set up like this, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take out that y and set it equal to 0. Okay, so all I did was take the y and I put it in a 0. Next thing we're going to do is we're always going to move this c. So remember, it's ax squared plus bx plus c. So I'm going to move this c over. So I'm going to go -5 minus 5. So it's -5 equals x squared plus 6x. Okay? Now, this is where the process is. We're going to have to memorize this process. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this b, and we're going to divide it by 2. So I'm going to take this 6 and divide it by 2. And what does that give me? That gives me 3. Okay? Then I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to raise it to the 2 power. And what does that equal? That equals 9. Okay? So this is the way it's always going to work. You're going to look at the b. You're going to divide it by 2. Whatever you get, you're going to raise it to the 2 power. That gives me a 9. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So see, I added 9 here. And I added 9 here. This is going to give me a 4 equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay? That's the way it's going to work every single time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to factor this, but it's going to be the same thing every time. So this is how we're going to write this. So whenever I see this right here, okay, I'm going to put parentheses, and it's going to be x and a squared. Okay? Now, the question you asked yourself was, what was this when you divided it by 2? Well, +6 divided by 2 is going to give me a 3. So right here, I'm going to put +3. This is the way completing the square is going to work every single time. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to move this back over to this other side. So since this is a +4, I'm going to go -4 minus 4. So this is equal to x plus 3 squared minus 4. Then remember we replaced that y with a 0 to begin with. Since there's nothing left over here and it's 0, I'm going to replace it back with a y. Okay? So now this looks exactly like this. Oops, sorry. Looks exactly like this. So I can take this and I can graph it now. Okay, so let me write my equation real quick. This is y equals parentheses x plus 3 squared minus 4, right? So again, +3 inside or outside, that's an inside, so it's going to move horizontally, either left or right, and I'm going to change it. So I see a +3, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 to the left, okay? Then -4, it's outside, right? So vertical keep, so I'm either going to move up or down. I'm going to keep it the same. I see -4, so I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there a negative in front of here? Nope. And it's squared, so it's going to be the U, and it's going to be opening normal, so it's going to open up. Okay? So that's how you graph by completing the square. We're going to put it into this form. This is called vertex form. And why is it called that? Well, because that helps us find the vertex. Okay? So whenever it says graphing by completing the square, we have to do this process, get it into this form, and this form we know how to graph, right? So that's what we got for today. Let's go.